Hey there, everybody. Welcome to a new Blacklist discussion. Every Tuesday, every Friday, we are here answering all the big questions and, of course, taking ideas from you guys and having fun discussions about those. So if you have any good topics you want to see discussed, be sure to leave them in the comments.
Yeah, thank you to everyone who has already left us some really fun discussions. We've had some really good videos, really fun discussions from your guys' ideas. So, yeah, leave it in the comments for us if there's anything you want to see us discuss about the Blacklist here at the channel.
This video is about what is, in our minds, a really, really important question that has been here for a very long time.
This question has been on my mind since basically the beginning of the series, which is, why does Liz actually need protection? Like, why? Why does she need protection from six adults that have gone on for 30 years that, some of them might be her parents. Some of them are just like friends of family, have given up their lives, like all these spies. Like, what is it about Liz that she cannot take care of herself as an FBI agent, that she needs all these people to protect her?
It's a very important question just because of the idea of how many people we have seen stick their necks out for Liz over the years, time and time again. It's like Reddington and others have acted at times like she is sort of the chosen one, when at the start of the show, it really just felt like Liz was sort of an inroad for Reddington to work alongside the FBI on some measure. That was the person he wanted to speak to, and we didn't really have all of the information then. But even with information, it doesn't still really spell out why this character, sole character, is this valuable.
Yeah, because it went on for 30 years. So since she was a little kid, what was the value in having this much protection on her? Now, Reddington, Katarina, they're her parents. Yes, they would want that. That is, Katarina was a spy. There was lots of people looking to kill her. So I'm sure she was worried that her kid would get killed. Okay, I buy that. What about everybody else? It's one thing to be a family friend or Katarina's handler like Ivan, or Ilya, a friend who clearly loved her. But at the same time, it's another thing to ask that friend for a 30-year favor. Like, it's kind of, we saw Ilya getting tortured for days and days and days to not give up anything. Why? Why? For me, I think I just need to have some sort of a deeper explanation of why Liz can't take care of herself as an FBI agent.
This is something that I've struggled with, because I have wanted to believe a lot over the years that this show was just really a story about love in various ways, and that Ilya loved Katarina so much that he was willing to do anything for her. That this Reddington, no matter who it is, that they care about Katarina so much that they would do anything for her. Mm-hmm. But this is the big but with all of this, is that sooner or later, every human has a breaking point. And I think it's also, this is not a heavily romantic show like we've already discussed in another video. We'll link it below. I mean, Anne was seemingly killed, and then they just didn't discuss her more than an episode after the fact. So I think the idea of this all being just a very romantic attachment is a little bit far-fetched.
Yeah, because even if you sort of go back to the origins of, Liz, and then throughout, say, her young years, her teenage years, then she's getting ready to go to the academy, and where was everybody that needed to protect her so much during that time? It was kind of like where was the danger to it all? And it can't just be, decades that they're behind the scenes getting together this criminal empire for the just in case one day it all needs to, pull the blacklist lever and everybody runs in to protect her. And if she wasn't an FBI agent, I think I would probably buy into the story a bit more. But she is an FBI agent. She has sort of the whole government FBI agency behind her, and she's a trained agent. I know she's still new at it, but she has training to be able to protect herself from a lot of stuff. So what is it? So one of the things that I was kind of wondering is they dropped this very small hint with Agnes where she was saying that Mr. Pink was telling her a story about royalty, about a princess. And I was just like, this makes sense. Okay, sure. What if, obviously there's no king and queen of Russia at the moment, but there was a royal family. Maybe she's part of that lineage of sort of, she would have been maybe an heir to the throne or someone of that royal family, but because there is no monarchy, she's just Liz. But there's still like this strangeness about that where people who are part of the lineage, even though there is no monarchy, still end up in situations where people are hunting them down or just want to wipe out the bloodline or whatever's going on.
This is an interesting thing to think about, just because one of the things that I have come back to a lot over these past few years is that I sort of think of Dom as almost like the big bad for this entire show, because he's the one who threw Katerina into a lot of what she was thrown into. Yeah. He has pulled a lot of strings. This is not father of the year material we're talking here with Dom. And let's go down this rabbit hole of maybe there is some sort of royal blood lineage going on here.
Yeah.
Maybe Dom knows it. Maybe Dom's strategy was for so long, okay, I'm just going to hide us in plain sight. We're going to find ourselves a certain value to the government so that they don't have a reason to sort of target us. But then everything with Katerina sort of goes haywire over time for a number of different reasons. And then you have Liz, who's just sort of out there adrift. And even if she doesn't know information, that could easily be enough still to have her be in danger, and she's not going to have been insulated from Dom or anyone else anymore. And we know that Dom was just kind of hiding out in that one cabin. He wasn't really going anywhere.
But then I land on this sort of island of, well, why didn't they just tell her? If this is what it is, that she has some sort of royal lineage and that there would be people after her, she can protect herself. There's been sort of this part of the show that's always kind of just bothered me a little bit, which is that, Liz needs help. Liz needs protection, that she can't take care of herself. She is not an adult. She is not an FBI agent, that, somebody has to swoop in and save her, that there just isn't, I guess, her own footing in this. And that's why I know a lot of people really didn't like the last few seasons where Liz did find her footing. But I like to see that progression where she is starting to take a bit of control of her own life. I will say I did not like that she went against Reddington.
Yeah.
But I wanted to see her get a bit of control over her own life like it was before he came into her life.
And I know one of the other things that people will say potentially is, okay, well, Liz maybe harbored some sort of government secrets or whatever else, and we saw a little bit of that here and there, and we certainly had plenty of archive theories over the past year or so, but it's like, she has been targeted by so many different people and so many different organizations that she needs quote-unquote protection from, that not all of them would be threatened, I think, by the same exact sort of thing. Like, I can't fathom this just being some either information she has access to, or because information is just kind of boring. And TV, they love the flashy, cool story, like the royal connection thing. Even if this doesn't pan out, it's a cool idea. Like, it's something that's flashy, and you can see sort of the stars in the eyes of the executives when they hear about it.
For sure. I mean, there is lots of stories of this, of sort of fallen monarchies, and the bloodline is still out there, and there's sort of like murder and betrayal and grave robbing and all kinds of stuff that is still going on to this day. Like, there is story to be told with something like that. But yeah, that's the thing about it, is that could have just been told to her, and then she could have dealt with it from there. That way, if something popped off, she could be like, oh, okay, I know why this is happening. I'll just call the task force. I'll just call in the FBI. Like, she has the whole government agency behind her.
So this is one of the theories that I'm bouncing around a little bit here, and this is, probably not a favorite idea for some people because it just implies like a ton of inherent selfishness, but
Yep.
let's just say that this is not really about Liz at all. Like, let's just say Liz is sort of just a vessel, like somebody who's getting us from point A to point B, where whether Katarina is this Reddington or Katarina is off somewhere else, she knows that she is always being hunted. She knows that she's going to be in danger, and no matter where she is, she still is his mom, right? Like, she still has a level of care about Liz, and she knows that people are going to try to use Liz to get to her, to try to hurt her. So what if this whole Liz needs to be protected is really just Katarina trying to preserve herself to make sure that nobody comes for her and nobody finds a way to hurt her, which, if that is the case, Liz is now dead. Katarina's going to be feeling just beyond devastated and none of this would matter anymore. But, a lot of people in life, and I'm not trying to get like inherently philosophical here in a Blacklist discussion, but a lot of people are inherently selfish, and Katarina has done a lot of things over the course of her life that are not about benefiting the greater good. So I don't think this is out of the realm of possibility.
I agree. I know that this is probably going to be the part of the discussion that we get the most comments in the comments, because it's a difficult thing to face, because it's true. People in general are inherently selfish, and the real Katarina has been hiding for 30 years, and she had been trying to prove that she's not N13 and she needs to find a way. And I'm not saying that just because you're selfish and you're doing something for selfish reasons, it doesn't mean that she wouldn't love Liz or that she wouldn't die for Liz. Both these things can be true. Like, she can be selfish and be using Liz to try to fix things that are going on in her own life, and she can still love her as well. I think people are complex.
They are, and I think that all of this is going to set the stage for a complicated season 9, because for whatever reason, whether it is royalty, whether it is selfishness, the complexity of these people, they have all been sort of just like wrapped around this idea that Liz is the focus of their lives for so many years, even the task force to some extent, that now with Liz out of the equation, with her fully gone, what does their life mean? And I'm, once again, not to get too philosophical, but there's a lot of weird soul searching that the show could do now.
Yeah, they really could, because now that she is gone, if the whole next season is still just about Liz, I'm not going to be happy about it. Like, there has to be some kind of proper wrap up for the after effects of Liz dying. But I can't watch 22 episodes of everybody spiraling about Liz's death or still trying to move forward about Liz's death. Like, it cannot go on all season.
No, it's fine to have a little grief, but I think, all of us as viewers, we want to see what's coming like around the corner. And I think that's why I wouldn't be shocked if they did some sort of time jump at some point to kind of move it forward, or at least I hope they move it forward somehow.
Yeah, it's going to be tough with the Reddington is dying to have too much of a time jump, because if it's really not working, the treatment, then he wouldn't be in a time jump. He'd be off the show, and none of us want that.
No, we do not. But this is something that I think we're all going to be kind of wondering about, and maybe the Blacklist feels like they've given us enough information on this. I just don't feel like we're satisfied about it. But let's hear from you guys. Why do you think Liz needs so much gosh darn protection on this show? Give us your theories, your thoughts. Do you think they will give us anything more? Also, if you want to give us something more, hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you here next time.